Welcome everyone again, it's me John, and today we're gonna continue watching and reviewing my Artistry History gameplay. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this game is on the Cold Tower, which is a pretty good map for both sides. I have the same build as last time. Thanaphobia, Pogos Weasel, Scotch Hook Pain Resonance, and Corrupt. Very strong build. Requires you to be to waste a bit of time on the generators. So it's not a passive regression, it's more a bit active regression. It requires you to get hooks to actually regress something. But also has Thana. Okay, so here I immediately get 2 free hits on these guys, which is insanely good. And here I try a bit of mind game and it doesn't work. This guy gets a speed boost and I decide to switch for another guy who's working on gens right here. And yeah, it was probably not a good idea to go into that corner because there is a lot of blocked generators there. And I tried to defend these 3 generators which are not blocked. I managed to injure Kate from a distance, which is very lucky. She should have been watching out for that, to be honest. Now she can make it with the Death Heart. Of course she has it. I should just break his pallet because it's very good. And I assume they're on this gen again, which is of course right. They healed up and they went back. And this game is gonna be a bit of back and forth, as I'm trying to defend this regen from the very start of the game. I think I'm gonna get left with it. But let's not jump right ahead. So far I don't have a hook, and the corrupt is about to expire. So at this point I should commit to go to the corrupt generators. They're making it very smart. They are always running forward to the corrupt area. And now this guy wanted to hold forward again, just when he had a chance. Wait out the Death Heart, make sure he doesn't have it. He doesn't get an easy escape, and that's the first hook. Not sure if there's Scotch hooks nearby. Oh, there is one, that's perfect. Okay, so the most progress gen is that one upstairs. This one also has some progress. It's about 50%. The obsession gets rescued. These doors I will have to break sooner or later. And here is David, who is running back into the shack. Really annoying. Maybe I can get this pallet out of him. Oh, I get a pallet and a hit. That's actually perfect. Here I decide to go for him. I kind of just stay defending the region all game. Sometimes I have to commit to get some downs. He used a locker to get rid of the birds, which is really smart from him. Maybe I can get the down here. No, that was premature of me. I need to push him out from the other side and then send the birds. He is not repelling though. He's showing me his aura constantly, and I am not getting him down even with that aura. Thank God he was a bit cornered here. Not cornered, but the walls were close and he couldn't really dodge that follow-up bird. Yeah, I still have this regen. And the most progress gen is probably the gen upstairs. The David was previously working on it. So far I have 2 hooks. Yeah, there is someone here. Should be hit. Instead of finding that guy, I just decided to kick a gen. Yeah, I think the guy dropped. Not sure. Should have looked around a bit more. That's the problem with this build. I am rather tempted to regress generators when in reality I sometimes should delay it or just do not use pop just for the sake of finding a person, for getting a free hit, or something else. Here I'm suspecting decisive on this guy, so I'm setting up a bird, so if he decisive to me, he's gonna have a bird on him, and I maybe can snap him with a follow-up. I'm still not sure how valid is that strategy, but it's something I can try to do. If he starts repelling immediately, I think he can get the birds on time. Here I wasn't sure if I want to regress this gen, if I want to go for the Felix. He's gonna get a do a loop around that building and come back. I wanted to find a David to get him out of the game, but I haven't even looked at his cook and at that TL wall. Honestly, they're probably by the shack again. Okay, there are two guys here. I just get... yeah, they were messing with my camera a lot. I really get confused here. At this point I'm probably already panicking because yeah, this is not looking very great. This region is constantly getting assaulted. And here I found the David. I should be getting him out of the game, if possible. But I understand that if I get him out of this game right now, it's gonna be very hard. I have a Thanaphobia, make sure no one is on that generator. Here I try to get this girl down. I zone her out from the pallet, which is great, but yeah, finally I get the down. And that's not down David, that's the problem. And those people, I think right now they set up a boon, but maybe that was even earlier. They try to finish that gen, and their boon is around the shack. That I know from the post-game experience, I remember this game. But now I have only my suspicions that they have a boon around the shack side. Because they're constantly running there, and they're constantly resetting, and they're healing up very fast at this point. And it's gonna continue, you're gonna see. There was a Felix there, wasn't it? Okay. It just disappeared. Here I set up a bird, assuming that someone is upstairs and I can hit them when they drop. That's exactly what's happening, and I get a very quick down on Felix, which is very great. I need to hook someone in this area. I really need to. This Felix is first hook though. First hook. What are these scratch marks? Where are they leading? I have no clue, by the way. I have no clue where these scratch marks are leading. Maybe someone ran into the building, maybe someone ran out of the building. I'm absolutely no clue. I have no clue. I should have camped this gen a bit more. Here I try to switch targets. And here instead of committing, I try to stall out the gens. Which is a valid strategy, but they're gonna keep assaulting me. Assaulting the gens, I mean. Oh, here I missed the falling hit on David. Okay, to be sure that is kind of tricky. And this build was set up through little obstacles, so that's why there was no hit. If I manage to kill this David though, if I somehow manage to do that, this game could turn around very quickly. Okay, so I get a hook on David. That gen is most progressed. And at this point, I should be able to convert this game, right? They only have 3 people. I have a lot of hooks on all of them. What can possibly go wrong? I find this girl. I found another guy here. That was probably pure game sense. I have no clue how I find them. Instead of committing, I decide to kick these gens. but they're not progressed. I should be committing to them right now. Leaving the shades right there is not good. Right now, all the gens are at 0. I should absolutely go for them. I should absolutely go for them right now. I have time to... Because all the gens are at 0, which I know from the Scorch Hook. I mean, almost at 0. Because the Scorch Hook blew that gen, and that gen didn't have much progress. That allows me to assume that all the gems don't have much progress. That's why this Scorch Hook is a very good perk, by the way. So, I understand that I need to down someone, and I down this guy. He's not the hook or anything. And I can bring him towards the Scorch Hook, which is really great. And then I should go and see what gens they're doing. Using the Scorch Hook again, I know what gen is most progressed. I should not be sending those birds. I should be focused on this most progressed gen. I should not be breaking pallets at this point. I should get a look on that gen. Maybe I'd look at it briefly. But that gen was most progressed one. So they're not doing gens right now. This is absolutely great. I should commit to them. There's no reason to defend the gens. They're not doing them. There was no reason to set up with the bird, and the birds, they behave that in the way that the elevation for the first second of the bird flight, it actually counts, and the bird flies up a bit. And that's why that bird didn't hit the Felix. That's a pretty interesting mechanic, unique to the artist. So this guy drops a pallet. Earlier I was setting up a birds in the high wall loops, which was pretty questionable. And they get back on the gens, and I need to defend them. I try to only chase people who are around my 3 gen, but again they're holding forward. I'm trying to use birds to down them sooner, but it's not really working. This bird was badly positioned. It wasn't covering the doorway, and those guys are gonna be healed up. Both, yeah, in 2 seconds because of the boon in the shack. I actually never found this boon. They told me after the game that I have a boon in shack. Here I found this girl, and I should commit to someone. It's only this one gen which is being progressed. I should commit to it. I should not be patrolling gens right now. I should be down in this gate as soon as possible. I have Scorch Hooks, but I just need it down. They have a good pallet. And it's not a Kate actually. The Kate already ran to Boon and she's already healed. By the Boon I mean the Circle of Healing, of course. It's by far the strongest Boon. Despite it getting a couple of nerfs from the developers, it is still an insanely powerful perk. It gives Savaris so much coordination. No, they don't have the boon right here in the shack exactly, but somewhere near those loops they actually have it. I managed to find a Felix here. I don't have a Scorch Hook nearby. And they're probably back on the generators. They finished that one. And I'm not sure which one is the most progressed now. Probably the one upstairs. So I'm going there right now. I still want to control the gens. Yeah, this is not too far progressed. I can actually commit to this guy, I think. Can I? Can I? They're probably healing around that area. Yeah, I'm not sure what their boon is, really. This girl is healthy, I don't really want to chase her. I understand that I kind of went out, didn't find an injured guy, and They could be finishing gens or just slamming gens at this point. They're not here though, which means they're gonna be healed in yeah, they're gonna be healed in 0.1 second. Now someone is by the hill, someone is right in front of me, and I try to go for Kate. Get a hit on Kate. She holds forward. The map has almost no pallets at this point. She makes it with a death heart. I could have prevented that. I could have set up a bird right to that window. It was a perfect angle for that, and it would have been hit her if she vaulted that window, even with death heart. So that was my mistake. I could have done her a bit faster. At this point, I understand that this time they could have used to actually finish up all the gens. But I still decided to hook her for some reason. Should have either slugged her immediately or hooked her immediately, because there is no time to lose. Okay, how progressed is this gen? It's already done. Yeah, just like I said, should have either slugged her immediately or hooked her immediately. At this point, I can maybe still get the win. I just need two people in control, on the ground or on the hook or dead. There's no pilots, so this guy just goes to the corner, and that gives him enough time to get the unhook. This is looking pretty bad, but still possible. I don't follow the smash marks, instead I blindly guessed that they would be on this gate. And here I don't know why I'm setting up birds. Oh, anyway, that worked out. I could have just looked at that gate and it would have been the same effect. He's not full, he's not gonna run to birds. Yeah, now he kinda had to. Now I have him cornered. I break the pallets. But that gives him enough distance to make it to this window again. I miss the bird on him. And the Kate picks up the other Felix. And they still have this pallet! They still have this pallet! That's insane. So yeah, at this point, if they want, they're gonna just go for the other gate. Or they can heal. They're actually opening the gate and healing at the same time because they have a boon somewhere. I'm really not sure where they have a boon, by the way. And here I cannot stop this gate from escaping. I shouldn't be pushing her out. But I did that. And now there is no way that I can get both Felixes. There's just no way. They're both healthy and they're gonna run to the open gates, or they're gonna split up and finish this gate too. I try to hope for some miracle. They both here, they kinda fuck up, they kinda do badly here, but then they bottom block for each other and they probably make it to the exit gate. Here I maybe can down him if I send the birds right. So from the survival part, it was an incredible game. They've always run back to the corrupted gens at the first, to the boon at the second stage of the game, and despite me managing to kill one person and get him out of the game, it was still very hard to play the 3v1 because they're constantly pressuring gens, they're constantly resetting by themselves using their boon, and they were holding forward a lot. They played this game very good in the strategic department, and I know a couple of things I could have done better, a couple of places where I misused my perks, where I went to the gens despite knowing that the gens were almost at zero. And yeah, I think if I played just a bit better, I would have been able to convert this game and maybe get them all killed. But instead, that's what's happening. And mostly, good job from survivors.